Daytona is about to change overnight, and the drivers themselves have no idea if it's going to work. No practice, no warm-up laps to figure it out. Just 36 cars rolling onto the biggest superspeedway in America with a brand new setup, live on national television with the regular season and a playoff spot hanging in the balance. This is the Coke Zero Sugar 400. And this year, it's an experiment. Here's what's happening. NASCAR is rolling out a brand new rules package for Daytona, debuting August 29th at the Coke Zero Sugar 400. The changes are simple on paper. The rear spoiler shrinks from 7 inches down to 4. Horsepower drops from 510 to 465. Less drag, less downforce. The goal: make it easier for drivers to break the draft, build a run, and actually complete a pass instead of getting trapped in a 2x2 freight train for 3 hours. NASCAR expects single car speeds to climb by roughly 3 miles an hour. Pack speed barely moves. And here's the twist: less horsepower doesn't mean slower racing. It means a completely different kind of racing. To understand why NASCAR is doing this, you have to understand what fans have been complaining about for years. Recent Daytona races have turned into fuel-saving chess matches. Drivers riding in line, conserving gas, waiting for the final 10 laps to actually race. It's strategic, sure, but it's not what superspeedway racing is supposed to look like. It's not the chaos, the 3 wide battles, the constant lead changes that made Daytona legendary in the first place. NASCAR wants something closer to what we saw at Atlanta this season, a track already known for producing wild, unpredictable pack racing with cars actually able to separate from each other. This isn't a small tweak. This is NASCAR looking at superspeedway racing and saying the current formula isn't good enough anymore and the timing matters. This is the regular season finale. Playoff seeding, the regular season championship, and postseason positioning are all on the line. A rules change at any other point in the year is a curiosity. A rules change here is a variable nobody can fully control. So let's break down what this actually means strategically. Reducing the spoiler size cuts down on the dirty, disturbed air trailing behind each car. That disturbed air is exactly what traps drivers in line and makes passing at Daytona so brutally difficult. Less turbulence behind the car in front means the car behind has a real shot at pulling out, building momentum, and completing the move instead of getting sucked back into the pack the second it tries. That's the theory. And on paper, it's a smart one. Denny Hamlin, who helped build this package himself, has been blunt about it. Don't get hung up on the horsepower number dropping because the cars are still going to run faster. The engineering logic checks out, but here's the risk. Daytona is not a wind tunnel. It's 20-plus cars in a tight pack at nearly 190 miles an hour, and small aerodynamic changes can produce massive, unpredictable ripple effects once you put 40 different driving styles into the mix. A package that looks clean in simulation can turn into chaos, or even danger, the moment real air, real drafting, and real desperation get involved. And then there's the practice issue. Brad Keselowski said it plainly, he'd have liked a practice session, but that decision is already made. There isn't one. That means every team, every crew chief, every driver is calibrating on the fly in real time in a race that decides who's still racing for a championship. That's the real gamble here. It's not just whether the Aero package works, it's whether asking drivers to learn a brand new superspeedway package live under playoff pressure with 0 practice reps is smart preparation or a recipe for a chaotic, wreck-filled night. Reaction from the garage has actually been more measured than you'd expect. Chris Buescher called it exactly what drivers have been asking for. If it performs the way it's drawn up, it's a win. Daniel Suarez struck a more cautious tone, pointing out that packages that look good on paper don't always translate to the racetrack. Larson leaned on trust in the process, pointing to the committee of drivers and officials who built it. But don't mistake measured for unified. There's a clear split between drivers who are excited about the potential and drivers who are bracing for the unknown. And once fans start watching practice-less superspeedway racing unfold live, that split is going to show up in real time on social media, lap by lap. So where does this go from here? 2 scenarios. Best case, the package works exactly as designed. Cars break the draft, real passing returns, the fuel-saving snooze fest disappears, and NASCAR has its blueprint for superspeedway racing going forward, including a real shot at using this for the 2027 Daytona 500. Worst case, the lack of practice turns the race into a guessing game. Teams misjudge the new Aero balance, the pack behaves unpredictably at speed, and instead of clean, exciting racing, you get chaos, multi-car wrecks, and a playoff field decided as much by bad luck as by skill. This race is a one-time test. The Coke Zero Sugar 400 is the only event running this package this season. Whatever happens on August 29th is the entire sample size NASCAR has to work with before deciding whether this becomes the new Superspeedway standard. So here's the real question. Is this NASCAR finally fixing what's been broken at Daytona for years, or is it a high-stakes gamble with zero margin for error running for the first time ever in a race that decides who makes the playoffs? Drop your prediction in the comments. Clean racing revolution or Daytona chaos with a playoff spot on the line? If you want the breakdown the second the green flag drops and we see how this package actually performs, make sure you're subscribed. This one's going to be worth watching live.